And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV and to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It is now time for your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. RSN Trackside 358 modifieds on the program first here tonight. Live tonight from Weedsport, New York, right here at the Weedsport Speedway. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set. We are just into the qualifying session right now. We're going to see a field of 25 drivers on hand, which means we are headed for a consolation race. We'll see 4 heat races on the program. 6 laps. Top 4 to the main event will lock in 16. The other 8 from the 9 will come from that consolation race, which will be 8 laps in distance. But for the heat races as well, there is going to be an inversion of 4. So we get ready for what is the first part of the triple header. Excuse me, a triple header here on Ultimate Dirt TV. And we've got 4 races live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. So a big night for this Thursday evening. Again. I don't know why I said it twice, but you're just about to wrap up the qualifying session right now. So you're looking at a field, like I said, 25 drivers signing into the virtual pit area for tonight. And to see who is going to take out, who will start on pole, and who's going to take out this 30-lap A main event later on this evening. Sorry, just getting my little cough minute. And my cough puffer. Here we go. Heat race number 1 taken to the racetrack. Beautiful sunset, as Dean Reynolds would say. A beautiful sunset on race cars here at Weedsport Speedway. Heat race number 1 lining up like this. Michael Vitale will start to the 213 machine to the pole position to the outside. Brandon Templeton lines up at a position number 2. Greg Boydell lines up the 014 machine from position number 3. Kelly Wheeler, fastest in qualifying tonight, will go out of position number 4 in the 110 machine. Just missing the inversion by 1. It's the 93 car of Jason Butterfield. He'll start position number 5. Jeffrey Barker in the Team RWB 513 will line up at a position number 6. And go into the 7th and final starting position with the 97 car of Butch Baker. We get set for what is the opening heat race of the night here for the RSN Trackside 358 modifieds. We'll have the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block modifieds later on this evening. Then, of course, the Pro Late models will take to the racetrack later on, then followed by the NASCAR Xfinity cars. So Vitale and Templeton getting ready to bring us to the green flag here at Weedsport Speedway. We're green flag racing here into turn number 1 and 2, and Brandon Templeton is going to get the jump on the field as they work it down into turn number 1 and 2. It's still going to be Brandon Templeton to lead the opening lap. Michael Vitale, Kelly Wheeler fastest in qualifying. Quickly moving his way to position number 3, but gets a little tight there on the entry to 1. Going to lose a couple of positions and now going to fall out of the transfer position. Boydell and Barker go out for positions number 3 and 4. Barker's got the run on the outside, probably the outside line. For the moment, just the place to be. So continue on here at Weedsport. Jason Butterfield looking to close in on Boydell. Baker trying to go to the inside on Wheeler. Racing all over this racetrack, this tight little venue here at Weedsport Speedway. Butterfield slides up in front of Wheeler. Wheeler has to back out of the throttle right there, but still watching Boydell in the 014 machine. Now we'll switch it back to Jason Butterfield, 1 spot out of a transfer position. There's 2 laps left to run here in heat race number 1. Butterfield going to have Wheeler and Baker closing in. Work it down the front straight away. The white flag is out. 1 lap left to go. Brandon Templeton down into 1 and 2 we go. 3 and 4 I should say. Checkered flag is out. We are done for the opening heat race of the night. Again, we'll take a look at those official results very quickly before we move into what is going to be heat race number 2. Templeton, Vitale, Barker and Boydell will go to the show. Butterfield, Wheeler and Baker off to the B main. Off to the B main they go. Heat race number 2, Kurt Shatter in the 218 machine to the outside. Logan Wentz lines up at a position number 2. That's your front row. Blake Chapman in the 20 will start position number 3. Randall Dixon in the 011 will start position number 4. Then we go back to Bob DeGood at a position number 5. And Michael Vecchio lining up at a position number 6 as we get set for what is heat race number 3. Heat race number 2. I'm just getting ready for heat race number 3. Sorry, I've got to... Oh... I think you'll have the influenza cough. Can last up to 8 weeks, they say. 3 to 8 weeks. That's not a fun time. Tell you what is a fun time, though. We're racing here at Weed Sports Speedway for what is your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Now Schatzer leads from Logan Wentz, but here comes Logan Wentz with a run down into turn number 3. He'll slide it up. There's a bit of contact there, and Logan Wentz, look out, here comes Blake Chapman to the inside down into 1 and 2. Chapman and Shatter will go out at wheel to wheel for positions number 2 and 3. Randall Dixon back there to position number 4. DeGood Vecchio on the outside looking into a transfer position right now. They'll be headed for a consolation race should we keep this race going. No yellows in the heat races. Yeah, good day, Nick. Wentz, your race leader. 3 down and 3 to run. Here in your RSC trackside, heat race number 2. Shatter holding on to the runner-up position. The Dirt Track Bank Got 6 Racing Network number 218 machine. And you go back to Blake Chapman, Randall Dixon. Again, still no change between those 4 drivers. I should say there'll be 2 laps left to run for the 18 of Logan Wentz, looking to start on the outside of the front row of tonight's 30-lap main event. Chapman trying to dive to the inside on Shatter into 3 and 4. Keen to see how the racetrack is going to play out later on in this 30-lap main event, because we've still got another 2 heats, a B-main and a warm-up session to get done with before we even think about our 30-lap main event. Chapman and Shatter, gee, that was tight at the line. Logan Wentz is victorious. Kurt Shatter going to come home into position number 2. Blake Chapman will be 3rd, not by a whole lot, 58 1/1000ths of a second. Randall Dixon home in 4th. And that's your top 4 that will move into the main event. Bob DeGood, Michael Vecchio headed to a consolation race. Heat number 3 will look like this on the pole position. It's going to be the 122 car of Brian Dickens. And Alex Pomelo lines up the 397 machine from position number 2. Samuel Buckman lines up the 007 machine from position number 3. From position number 4, in car number 5, it's Isaac Salas. Pat Boyce lines up the 41 machine from position number 5. And Randy Shrees will pilot the 56 machine from position number 6 as we get set for what is your penultimate heat race for the RSN Trackside 358 Modifieds here at Weed Sport. All right. Apologies, man. We've got all sorts of stuff wrong with us. So it looks like we're going to send him around one more time. I don't think, well, maybe race control just forgot to press that little 1 green button that we see. So here's what it is right there, watching from the top of the grandstand. We've got above the racetrack. Let's see if we got a close. There we go. We've got a nice close shot of that Dirt Track Bank VMR. Got your 6 Racing Network 122 car of Brian Dickens. So safety car is off the raceway. We are ready for a start. Heat race number 3. RSN Trackside 358 Modifieds here at Weed Sport. We're green into 1. Pomelo going to get the run. Keep an eye on Salas from that outside of the second row, who's quickly moved up to position number 3. That'll put Buckman back to position number 4. Brian Dickens trying to work to the inside off the corner number 4. Here goes Salas with a run down into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to go from 3rd to 1st in the matter of, well, 2 turns. But here comes Brian Dickens back to the lead. And Pomelo goes from 1st to 4th. So She's almost going from hero to zero. Oh, Dickens, the left front just catching the concrete wall. It doesn't move. It will not move no matter how many times you try and move it out of the way. Backman now going to come after Isaac Salas. These two guys started in position number 3 and 4, which means they were the fastest two qualifiers in this heat race. Salas has got it down into turn number 1. He had it by half a car length. He'll slide it all the way to the concrete wall. Now here comes Backman from the top to the bottom. We go and we drag race down into turn number 3. This time it's Backman to throw a slider already mid-turn of turn number 3 and 4. And Salas was off the gas trying to get that car settled to go and turn it back underneath him. Gee, what a heat race battle you've got between Samuel Backman and Isaac Salas. Salas again just trying to stay low now on the exit of turn number 4. He backed up the entry big time, and he's still going to lead after 5 laps of competition. Into 1 and 2 we go. Salas slides up. Here comes Backman with a run down the back straight. Once again, watch the 5 car. He sets himself up for a crossover move. Now into 3 and 4 we go with slider. Backman and Salas at the line. Oh my! How do you call that one to the naked eye? We'll have to wait for the official results to come up. It's going to be 1/1000th of a second. It is Isaac Salas getting the win over Samuel Backman. Brian Dickens, Alex Pomelo, your top 4 Shreves and boys to the consolation race. There you go. Heat race of the night. Heat race number 4 lining up like this. Anthony Morano to the pole position in car number 32. Trent Verstraeten in the 088 lines up at a position number 2. Position number 3, Trevor Garreau in the 075 machine to the outside. Kevin Fry in car number 21 from position number 4. Matt Schaefer in the 83 will line up at a position number 5. And Jacob Brown in the 713 will go from position at number 4. Your 4th and final heat race of the evening. Coming to you live from the virtual Weed Sport Speedway in Weed Sport, New York. It was, Chris. That was sweet, that race. 1/1000th of a second between Salas and Verstraeten. Safety car off the racing surface. Morano and Verstraeten will come to the green flag. Backman and Salas, that was for that finish for heat race number 3 by 1/1000th of a second. Keep an eye on Kevin Fry in the 21 machine as Verstraeten will lead off for turn number 2 and down into turn 3. We go for the first time of 6 circuits. Oh boy, Morano. I told the boys in heat race number 1 and 2 that the concrete wall doesn't move. I'll tell you the same thing. It still does not move no matter how many times it's tried to be moved. Here comes Garreau in the 075 machine, that grey and orange. 75 to the outside of the blue number 32 entry of Anthony Morano. We know he's good around the bottom side everywhere he goes, so maybe just trying to get things dialed in and get himself prepared for later on in tonight's main event. But to do that, he's got to make the show first. Right now, he sits into position number 3. Again, the 4th and final heat race of the night. Kevin Fry gets into the concrete wall in the middle 1 and 2. Just overdrove it there, and now here comes Garreau. Oh boy, Garreau misjudging the entry into turn number 3. Schaefer and Brown doing battle for positions number 5 and 6. But there goes Morano now starting to find himself a rhythm, but it might just be too little too late because Trent Verstraeten will lead coming off at turn number 4, coming to the white flag. Heat race number 4 of 4. One consolation race will send 1 car home in that one. It'll be 8 laps and 8 to go through. Verstraeten leads down the back straightaway. For the final type heat racing competition for your RSN trackside, 358 modifieds here at Weed Sport. Morano comes thick and fast, but it's too little, too late. Trent Verstraeten gets the win. Second will go to Anthony Morano. Third at the line is going to be Kevin Fry. Then you go back to Trevor Garreau in 4th. 5th is going to be Matt Schaefer and Jacob Brown home in position number 6. We're going to just brighten things up just a little bit because this is very, very dark as we get set for your consolation races. We take a look at your starting lineup. Jason Butterfield on pole position. From position number 2, it's Bob DeGood. From position number 3, that'll be the 56 car of Randy Shreves. The 83 of Matt Schaefer lines up at a position number 4. Well, fastest qualifier tonight in the 110 machine, Kelly Wheeler lines up at a position number 5, and Marco Vecchio in the 007 machine will go out of position number 6. Pat Boyce, the 41, out of position number 7. Jacob Brown, the 713, lines up at a position number 8. And the 97 of Butch Baker will go to the 9th and final starting position. So it is very, very dark here at Weed Sport. Again, we'll have to get the brightness turned up just a little bit during the warm-up session, so allow me to do that. So apologies about the darkness of your consolation race. Here we go, consolation race is upon us, and we are underway. Down into 1 and 2, Butterfield is going to lead from the good Schaefer to the outside of Randy Shrees, as it's going to be Schaefer to move to position number 3. No, it's Schaefer to position number 3. Problems for Schaefer in that 83 car, going to make it difficult for both Shrees and Wheeler. Vecchio in 6th position, just to the very right of your screen. Then you've got Jacob Brown on the 713 machine trying to move his way forward, trying to get some extra starting positions. But Butch Baker goes on by Pat Boyce for that final transfer position. On one car into the wall, it's Michael Vecchio. He does a 360, keeps it going. That'll put Pat Boyce back into the show. Shreves and Wheeler off for turn number 4. Shreves has got it. And just like that, we are 3 in, 5 to run in B main competition. Jason Butterfield in the 93 car still leading the way. Bob DeGood back there to position number 2. Matt Schaefer in 3rd in that red and white. HBR number 83 car. Shreves for Redline Race Designs and LGR Motorsports in the 56. Still back there to position number 4. You still watch back there in the 110 machine. Kelly Wheeler, who I'm sure would just love to put that 110 into the show after going quickest in qualifying and just having a little moment in his earlier heat race of the night. Here comes Schaefer with a run on DeGood down the back straight away. Schaefer just sticks it through the middle. It says 2 to run for the 93 car of Jason Butterfield. Bob DeGood in that team RWB number 7 car still holding on to the runner-up position. These drivers are going to start from position number 17 all the way through to 24. Michael Vecchio still on the outside looking in, the only car to not make it. Speaking of making it, into 3 and 4 we go. It's going to be Jason Butterfield to the checkered flag off turn number 4. Jason Butterfield wins from Bob DeGood in 2nd. Matt Schaefer home in 3rd. 4th we'll go to Randy Shrees. Kelly Wheeler gets up 5. Jacob Brown, Butch Baker and Pat Boyce will make up your top 8 drivers. And unfortunately, it's going to be Michael Vecchio, the lone soldier, to miss out in this one. So our field is set, then we've got 30 laps on the board. So with that being said, we'll take this opportunity right now to step aside here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll come back on the other side of this, your main event for your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder, your RSN Trackside 358 Modifieds. And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder for spring season week number 2. Here tonight from the Motorsports Speedway. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set for your 30-lap A main event to come. Again, we're just waiting for everybody to roll and waiting for the server to roll over. Hopefully we brighten it up just a little bit as we get ready for your feature race starting lineup. Brendan Templeton alongside Logan Wentz in row number 1. Isaac Sellis, Trent Verstraeten to make up row number 2. Row 3 going to be Michael Vitale and Kurt Schatzer. Row 4 we'll see Samuel Backman and Anthony Morano. Row number 5, Jeffrey Barker and Blake Chapman. Row number 6 going to be Brian Dickens and Kevin Fry. Row 7, Greg Boydell alongside Randall Dixon. Row number 8, it's going to be Alex Pomelo and Trevor Garreau. Row number 9, your B-main winner, Jason Butterfield, and the transferees, Bob DeGood. Row number 10, we'll see Matt Schaefer and Randy Shreves. Row number 11, Kelly Wheeler and Jacob Brown. And your 12th and final row, Butch Baker alongside Pat Boyce. And our field is set to do battle 30 laps around Weed Sport. For your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder spring season week number 2. Thanks to RSN Trackside. And thanks to RSN Trackside for their continued support here with the Coast to Coast Racing League. Again, the first of 4 races on the program. We'll have the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds to come, and then of course we'll have Extreme E-Speed TV covering the Pro late models, and then the Xfinity cars headed to the Circuit of the Americas to wrap up this Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder. Who will it be to take out this second week of the season? It's time to go racing here at Weed Sport. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 laps on the board as they work it down into turn number 3 and 4. Brendan Templeton, Logan Wentz. Let's get dirty for 30 here at Weed Sport as we are racing. And up in the 1 and 2 we go. It's turn 1 at Weed Sport. We'll see if we can navigate all the way through it. No Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves in the 56. It all started. In fact, I apologise to Randy. That had nothing to do with him. That was all Alex Pomelo and Jason Butterfield it was who got into the back of him. So turn 1 at Weed Sport happens once again. So Pomelo in the 397 will go to the tail end of the field along with the 93 car of Jason Butterfield. Again, lap number 1. And the drivers were warned. Turn 1, it's tricky. Got to be careful, especially at a track like Weed Sport. And the drivers will go obviously to the green. Again, they'll get the field re-racked and restacked to go racing here off for turn number 4 very, very shortly. And Brendan Templeton is going to be the man that will lead us back to the green flag. Just so you're aware of the competition and the rules on how Coast to Coast racing work. Well, the initial start is on the R-Racing green flag, which is quite self-explanatory for the first start. Any restarts are going to be off the leader of turn number 4. They do like to make sure that the safety car is off the raceway. Seeing as though that shouldn't be an issue because the pace car turns right instead of turning left to the infield. And we'll come back racing here off turn number 4. Brendan Templeton, your race leader, Logan Wentz. They'll get a re-racked and a restacked. 29 left to run. Templeton going to slide it from the bottom. Mid-track, he's going to leave a lane for Logan Wentz to get around, or to try and get around on the outside of the 18 machine. Here comes Michael Vitali in the 213, trying to make a move on Verstraeten. Meanwhile, the challenge is on for the top 3 positions. Templeton, Wentz, and Salas. Verstraeten and Vitali at top 5. Logan Wentz to the side of that 31 car of Brandon Templeton. Down into 3 and 4 we go. Who's it going to be at the line? Brandon Templeton just holding on by the skin of his teeth, and now Salas going to try and go to the top side as there goes Logan Wentz. He's got the lead down into 3 and 4 by half a car length. Now he's going to have it as Templeton makes a mistake catching the concrete wall in the middle of on the exit of turn number 4. So Templeton back to second. Now Salas with a run on the outside of that 31 car. Salas way upstairs into turn number 3 and 4. He knows how to get it done. Templeton still held on to position number 2 at the start-finish line. Verstraeten into the wall. Vitali goes on by Schatzer and Morano. Morano in the 32, Schatzer in the 218 machine. They're now starting to come after the top 5 drivers. Isaac Salas is going to find his way to the runner-up position at the start-finish line. And just like that, we are 6 in to this 30-lap A main event. Verstraeten, Vitali, Schatzer, Morano, Blake Chapman as well in the 20 machine, trying to move his way up to position number 7, trying to throw his hat in the mix. Boy, there's a number of battles developing here. It's a matter of how many camera angles can we see to see all these battles unfold. Salas closing in on the battle for the race lead of Logan Wentz down into 1 and 2. Now he showed a nose on the inside of Logan Wentz in that 18 machine. And Logan Wentz knows that the 5 car of Isaac Salas, he is right there after 9 laps of competition. Salas again going to go right through the slick down into turn number 1. He's going to slide it up, and now they'll get into nose to tail formation down into 3 and 4. This time, I thought they're going to go in the slider line, but no, Logan Wentz trying to chase the moisture. Speaking to a number of late model drivers, street stock drivers, sprint car drivers, it's all about trying to chase the moisture on the updates, and this is exactly what these guys are doing right now. They're chasing the moisture, and Logan Wentz still holding on to the race lead. Vitali and Morano will go at it side by side. Morano to the outside of that 213 car. Speaking of the 2 car, it's the 218 entry of Kurt Schatzer. He'll look to the inside there on the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. That's for positions number 4 and 5. Meanwhile, Templeton trying to close in on the 5 once again of Isaac Salas. Side by side down into turn number 3. Templeton's got that inside line working just as we watch him struggling off turn number 4. I think Chapman and Backman had issues there on the exit of corner number 4. Schatzer, big dive bomb. Oh no, he caught the wall. And the 218 machine is more than likely going to go around. That's going to bring on the caution. Kurt Schatzer in the 218 machine, just catching the inside of the crate. Have a look, trying to go for the big dive bomb and just misjudging it. And unfortunately, just couldn't quite save it. Schatzer, unfortunately. Bang, right there was Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Morano comes through, nowhere to go. Morano kept on going, but unfortunately, 218 car now, you can see there, just going back to the pit area, trying to get some running repairs done. Oh boy, what a good restart that was. That was about 14 laps. And once we go back green, we are going to be halfway home, so the cross flag sticks will come out immediately once the green flag comes out. Safety car should be headed up to the racing, headed back to the pits off the racing surface. And again, a very late start there for Logan Wentz, but trying to get the moisture on the exit of turn number 4. Keep Salas caught in the slick, and they'll switch lines down into 1 and 2. They'll go back to exactly what they did when we were under the green flag conditions. Salas, well, he thought about trying to slide up, but knows that he wasn't going to get clear of the 18 machine of Logan Wentz, but it won't matter because Isaac Salas is going to lead lap number 16, and we are yellow. And Salas will go to the race lead just by virtue of leading at the start-finish line. That's how quick and simple it is. Oh boy. It is a dog's breakfast here on the front straightaway. Jacob Brown, the man that was involved in that one, unfortunately, Butch Baker just caught his right rear quarter panel. Yeah, the car, the 97 car, just sort of hooked left after making contact with the car in front of him of Randall Dixon. So watch that 97 car. Just there was the contact, and all of a sudden it was just a late hook of the front wheels. Unfortunately, the car's just trying to come in, and again, the nowhere to go on that exchange, but boy, this guy's going to be hard to beat from here. This guy is going to be hard to beat from here, restarting on pole position. Again, he'll get to dictate the pace. With 13 laps left to run. What does Logan Wentz do? Now, Salas, you can just see there, leader will get lane choice, and immediately just seen Salas just dive it down to the inside, so lights are still on. Lights still on, the Steve King Foundation, racing.com safety car. So they'll come to 1 to green off turn number 4 next time, and there should be this time by actually. Again, the lights are out. We'll get this RSN trackside 358 main event back to green flag conditions off for corner number 4. Isaac Salas is going to lead the way. But once again, in fact, for the first time tonight, Isaac Salas is going to lead us to the green flag. He's been the man that sits and been sitting in the runner-up position, and he gets a good start getting away from Logan Wentz, Trent Verstraeten, Brandon Templeton, Anthony Morano. That's your top 5 as they work it through turn number 1 and 2. There'll be 12 to run at the start-finish line, this time by up for corner number 4. Michael Vitale just outside the top 5, then Samuel Backman in that 007 machine. He'll work into the top into turn number 1 and 2. Boy, he catches the cushion right in the middle of 1 and 2 and then drives back down the racetrack just a little bit. Now gets to the outside of Vitale. This is the battle for positions number 6 and 7 off for turn number 4. Vitale coming up the racing line just a little bit on the front straightaway. Now going to leave one very slim line on the outside. Here comes Blake Chapman in the 20 machine. Meanwhile, Templeton got some company. Trent Verstraeten on the inside. Templeton looking to move back to position number 3. Here goes Templeton with a run on the outside of Verstraeten and Templeton side by side. It's a drag race down into turn number 3. Who's it going to be? Will it be the inside or outside line prevailing down the front straightaway? Trent Verstraeten has got it, now slides up. Here comes Morano. 3 wide on the exit of turn number 2. Now it's 2 wide with Templeton and Verstraeten once again. Down into 3 we go. Verstraeten, the car got tight. You see the front wheels, they were pointed left, but the car was still sliding up. Verstraeten still holds under the final podium position. 3 wide again, nearly on the exit of turn number 2. Templeton's got it by half a car length, but Verstraeten still going to work down to the inside. He's going to make that inside line work. Gee, it's good on the exit of turn number 4. Logan Wentz 1 second away from your race leader of Isaac Salas. With 6 and a bit to go, there'll be 6 to go now. Templeton gets clearing. Templeton, he goes back to the bottom side on the exit of corner number 4, and that could, all barring a mistake from the 31 car, that could just keep himself locked into a podium position. Now Morano in the 32 car, trying to come after Verstraeten. Now Michael Vitali as well in the 213 machine. He's got Samuel Backman, Blake Chapman, all handing him on the inside of the raceway. Backman going to go upstairs. Chapman, Vitali, Verstraeten now loses 4th position. He'll go back to position number 5 as Anthony Morano sneaks on by. 4 to run. 4 to go at the line as they run down the front straightaway. Vitali, Backman going at it once again for positions number 6 and 7 now. Going to try and come after 5th place entry of Trent Verstraeten and Michael Vitali. Nearly just drove into the cockpit of that 088 machine, but he kept it off him, so good job from Vitali. Chapman to the inside of Buckman as they work it off for turn number 2. 7th and 8th position on screen right now. 2 to go for your race leader of Logan Wentz. Chapman finding his way to position number 7, but I think Brandon Templeton may have enough to hold on here as they work it down into 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. White flag is out. We go and race it to the start-finish line. Down into 1 and 2 goes the 5 car of Isaac Salas. And to open up the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season, week number 2 for the RSN Trackside 358 Modifieds. Isaac Salas is going to victory lane. Logan Wentz will come home in 2nd position. 3rd at the line is going to be Brandon Templeton. I think it was only 3 cautions in that one, considering we had one on lap number 1. Not a bad way to open up this fall race. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season, week number 2. The RSN Trackside 358 Modified. Your main event winner is Isaac Salas. 2nd will go to Logan Wentz. Brandon Templeton comes home in position number 3. Excuse me, having a coughing fit. Anthony Morano, Trent Verstraeten will come home into positions number 4 and 5. Michael Vitali home in 6th, Blake Chapman 7th, Samuel Backman 8th, Brian Dickens 9th, and Greg Boydell to make up your top 10. 11 to 20 look like this. Kelly Wheeler in 11th, 12th was Randall Dixon, 13th Bob DeGood, Kevin Fry 14th, Pat Boyce to round out your top 15. Matt Schaefer in 16th, 17th will go to Randy Shreves. Butch Baker in 18th, Jeffrey Barker 19th, and Jacob Brown rounds out the top 20. Trevor Garreau in 21st, and the last car on the lead lap and on the raceway before we had 3 DNS. That was Jason Butterfield in 22nd. 23rd was Alex Pomelo, and Kurt Schatzer in position number 24. Well, RSN Trackside 358 Modified main event is complete. Of course, we'll get to chat to the top 3 here in just a few moments' time. Let's bring up 3rd place driver right now, driving the number 31 car of Brandon Templeton. And Brandon, congratulations on this 3rd place finish here tonight. Boy, you really had to work for that one. And it's nice to see you finally get a bit of luck go your way, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to change things up this season, and I'm going to try to complete some races for once. It's been a little bit of a checkers or wreckers the last season, and try to get back to basics. You know, kind of got back from vacation, got an update, so trying to get a fresh start and do some clean racing, get some finishing up front for once.
Right, over the last couple of weeks, obviously, you know, we've seen the new additions to the iRacing.com service. We've seen updates to cars and to tracks and whatnot. Talking to a couple of different division drivers, I'm going to call it, because, you know, so I've spoken to sprint car drivers, late model drivers, street stock drivers. They're all saying the same thing. Now I'm going to ask you this question: are you chasing the moisture a lot more in these 358 modifieds compared to previous builds?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. You know, the last couple tracks we've raced just slick off so fast, so it's really just throttle control through the slick half the time anyway, so it's hard to tell. But I always like when they kind of do an update and change things up. It freshens up the racing, and being somebody that races almost all the divisions, I think it's an advantage to be able to adapt to it quick.
Well, Brandon, nice to see you have a finally get a bit of luck go your way here this evening here at the Weed Sports Speedway Park for Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season Week number 2, driving the RSN track or driving in the RSN trackside 358 modifieds. Brandon, before we let you go, we'll let you thank everyone involved on this 31 car.
Yeah, I got to thank the Dirt Track Bank, Got Your Six Racing Network, Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, Brian, Brandon, um, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, you for doing the stream, and broadcasting it. It's really nice to be able to watch it back, and it's fun for family and friends to be able to watch. Thanks to everyone that helps out with the league and everyone watching at home. Thanks.
Brandon, well done on third place. Look forward to seeing you back, hopefully, in the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds. Well, Lee's done and dusted. All right, there we go. Brandon Templeton, home in third place. Home in second place tonight, driving the 18 machine. It is Logan Wentz. Logan, congratulations on the runner-up finish here tonight. Boy, I got to say, you led the first half of the race, and there was just one little thing that didn't go your way. Isaac got to your inside, and immediately going into turn 1, the yellow comes out, which pretty much gave him the race lead. But second place, nothing too bad to sneeze about, mate.
Oh, absolutely not. I just had fun running up there with Isaac. It's always fun racing with him. He runs clean all the time, and it's just a blast running side by side and not touching ever. Um, After he got the lead, I screwed up in the middle of 3 and 4 and got the inside wall, and that screwed my chance of getting it back.
How tough is it, and how different is 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4? Because you look at how big, not so how big this racetrack is, but how tight turn 1 is, especially if you enter on the top side like what you were doing. But then if you're on the outside of turn number 4, the wall comes out. It basically almost comes out at you, even though it's just a straight line.
Yeah, it really does. The fact that this track's shaped like a D is very important in how you run it, and it's a lot different compared to other tracks. Turn 1 and 2 is tight, like you said. You have to enter really hard and come off as hard as you can. It's a lot easier to do in a 358 than a big block.
Logan, congratulations on the runner-up finish here tonight for the RSN Trackside 358 Modified. Before we let you go, mate, we'll let you thank everyone involved on this 18 car.
I gotta thank the guys over at Brandon Racing, Anthony for giving me a spot on his team to race every week. Boys over at FTM for helping me week in and week out. Castleberry Flagstone for keeping me employed each week. JT Screen Printing, Dirt FX Designs for doing all my paints. You for putting on these broadcasts, Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race every week.
There we go, Logan Wentz, the driver that comes home into the runner-up position here tonight. Well, the one winner tonight is going to be the 5 car of Isaac Salas, and he knows how to party. It's salsa time once again. Isaac, congratulations on this victory. You had to be patient here tonight, but nonetheless, that one lap on lap 16, I think it was, when the yellow came out just as you took the race lead, that was the all-important one.
Yeah, man, that was a gift because I knew it was going to be an absolute war to get that top spot, especially with how good Logan had been running. So like I said, it was a gift. Made it a whole lot easier to manage the race from there on out.
A number of different lines that I feel like that was working here tonight. Logan was running the outside, and then you were sort of making the bottom side work. There was drivers sort of trying to run through the middle. Was that the way that you seen it as well? You were able to be free enough to move around.
Yeah, I actually loved it. I mean, I think that's kind of what most races I wish looked like. I mean, where we can all kind of search around and maybe the bottom works for 2 laps and then you got to move back up to the top. But I think that's the most fun racing when you and it's like a giant chess match, and the guys up front that you've raced around them so much, you kind of respect how good they are and what they can do, and you just know how they race. So it's always a lot of fun knowing that as well.
Well, we've got the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds to come. Are you feeling confident knowing that you've just picked up the win in the RSN Trackside 358 Modified main event win?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a big stepping stone to get that get that win out of the way for sure. But that's the first one of the season. But yeah, man, the big block should be just as fun. I think especially with the tire wear and everything else, that I think this should also be a multi-lane track. So I think it should be just as good a racing.
Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do in that one. But for now, Isaac, congratulations on the win in the RSN Trackside 358 modified main event here at Weedsport, here on this Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season Week number 2. Isaac, before we let you go, we'll let you thank everyone involved on this number 5 car.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Brett. Thanks to all those guys who are at Venom Racing. Thanks to Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs for that beautiful car, Got Your Six Racing Network, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, everything they do for our veterans, my Gramps with Top Notch Trucking. Yet again, thank you, Brett, for the broadcast. They're top tier, in my opinion. And other than that, thanks to my friends, my family, and thanks to my girlfriend for supporting me.
And thanks to Coast for putting it on the trail. I got you back, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks to Coast to Coast. I mean, we wouldn't have a place to do it if we weren't here. So, I mean.
I got you back. Good job on the win, Isaac.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it.
Gee, for someone that's done this so many times, he needs a gentle reminder. But, all right, RSN Trackside 358 modified main event is done. It's now time to take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll come back with your Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds to come in just a few short moments.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Right when we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season Week number 2 here tonight from the Weed Sports Speedway Park. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set. We are into the qualifying session. It is now time for the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds here to come. And a field of 24 drivers. On handle once again for this Big Block Modified Series. Thanks to not only Coast to Coast Racing League, but also thanks to Full Throttle Motorsports. So again, another 4 heats, 6 laps. Everybody going to the show, but again, there's going to be an inversion of 4 for the heat races here this evening. Get to the final 20 seconds of qualifying. The final few seconds of qualifying is about to be completed. 23 drivers have taken a time, and we've just got the one car that's just going to miss out on qualifying. He certainly he had some issues when it comes to not being in the server, but now I know he's been connected back. But all right, heat race number 1 getting set to take to the racetrack, and on the pole position, it will be the 93 car. Oh no, why we got that one? All right. Well. So we're going to get the timing and software reloaded. Jason Butterfield and Blake Chapman will make up row number 1. Logan Wentz, Samuel Backman is going to be row number 2. Bob DeGood, Jacob Brown, row 3. John Hayne, and who's in that car? I believe that is going to be Michael Vecchio. Let's see if this quickly works. And Jason Butterfield, Blake Chapman, row 1. Row 2, Logan Wentz, Samuel Backman. Row 3, Bob DeGood, Jacob Brown, I Am Good, John Hayne, and Michael Vecchio in row 4. Boy, someone stop me because I know the drivers. Yippee! I done a thing, and I done a thing right. Here we go. Full Throttle Motorsports, Big Block Modified. Heat race number 1 is underway, and boy, a whole lot more power. Down into turn number 1 and 2 we go. Jason Butterfield's got the lead from Blake Chapman. Chapman goes all the way upstairs into turn number 3 and 4 and around the outside. Boy, he's showing him that the top is up there. Backman getting a little tight down on the entry into turn number 1. Logan Wentz finished second in the main event. In your RSN Trackside 358 Modified just a few moments ago. Finding himself back to the position number 4. We'd normally say top 4 go through to the main event, but everybody going to transfer into the show. Butterfield, Backman working nose to tail down into turn number 3 and just off for turn number 4. There's 3 down, 3 to run. Butterfield, your pole sitter. Backman in the 007 machine now trying to come after Butterfield in the 93 car as they work it down the back straight away. Into 3 and 4 we go. 2 to run. Logan Wentz, Jacob Brown to positions number 4 and 5. Bob DeGood, John Hayne in 6th and 7th position. And of course, Michael Vecchio back in the pit area after suffering some issues there in the opening couple of laps. But it's all Blake Chapman for the moment. Hop for turn number 4. White flag is out. 1 lap left to go for the 20 car of Chapman. G. Butterfield throws it deep into turn number 1 and 2. Will it matter as they work it down into 3 and 4 for the final time? Heat race number 1 is complete. Blake Chapman gets the win over Jason Butterfield, Samuel Backman. That'll be your top 3. Logan Wentz, Jacob Brown come home 4th and 5th. Bob DeGood, John Hayne, and Michael Vecchio. There is your results for heat race number 1 for your Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds here at Weed Sports Speedway. One little adjustment we've got to make, and there we go. It is done and dusted. So just like that, heat number 2 getting ready to take to the racetrack right now. Greg Boydell lines up on pole position. On the outside of the front row, the 011 machine of Randall Dixon from position number 2. Alex Pomelo in the 397 starts position number 3 from 4. It's the 32 car of Anthony Morano. Position number 5 will be the 213 entry of Michael Vitale to the outside of the Mega Plumbing Bilstein. Number 513, that is Jeffrey Barker from position number 6. Isaac Salas deep in the field in position number 7 in car number 5. And Malachi Smith rolls off the 50 machine from position number 8. To get another 8 cars, you'll see 4 8-car heat races. Again, that makes up a total of 24. In fact, it'll be... I can't count. It'll be 3 8-car heat races. So we're going to go around one more time behind the racing.com pace truck. Safety car, I should say. Also thanks to the Steve King Foundation safety car. All right, here we go. Off turn number 4. As we are underway here at Weed Sports Speedway. Again, heat race number 2 of 3. And it's going to be Dixon and Boydell. Boydell on the inside, Dixon on the outside. Keep an eye on the 32 car of Anthony Morano. And a good result in the 358 Modifieds thanks to RSN Trackside. But now turning the attention to the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds here at Weedsport. Boydell into the back of Morano. And somehow Morano kept it going. Pomelo to the outside. Oh boy, they are beating and banging. Robin Panels down the front straightaway. Morano stays glued to the low side through turn number 1 and 2. Gets clear of that 397 car. Maybe bottom 1 and 2. Top 3 and 4 is going to be the place to be. Or even mid-track. Just above the slick line in 3 and 4. Malachi Smith's coming through the field as well. Surprised to see Isaac Salas still sitting back there in position number 7. He hasn't been able to move make any advances forward, and just like that, he splits the gap between Barker and Boydell. Barker made a huge blunder in 3 and 4. Coming after your race leader is Anthony Morano, Alex Pomelo. White flag is out, 1 lap left to go. Dixon, can he hold on to start on the outside of the front row? Who's it going to be down the back straightaway? Dixon has got it for the moment. Can he hold on for the final 2 left-hand turns? Morano dives down to the inside off for turn number 4. Dixon on the outside. Dixon wins. Randall Dixon will win heat race number 2. Oh boy. Heat races are fantastic here tonight at Weedsport. Dixon will get the win over Anthony Morano in second position. Back to 8 1,000ths of a second for Alex Pomelo, Isaac Salas, Malachi Smith, your top 5. Michael Vitale, Greg Boydell, and Jeffrey Barker, your top 8. Heat number 3, third and final heat race of the night. We'll see Brandon Templeton in the 31 machine go to the pole position to the outside of the front row. Kevin Fry lines up at a position number 2. Kelly Wheeler rolls up at a position number 3. Randy Shrees lines up the 56 machine from position number 4. Dean Reynolds, he's back looking on the inside of row number 3 from position number 5. Pat Boyce in the 41 will start from position number 6. And your final 2 starters for the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified Series here on your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season Week number 2. It's going to be Trent Verstraeten to the inside out of 7. And Matt Schaefer, the 83, lining up at a position number 8. So Templeton, after finishing with the 3rd place finish in the 358 modified main event, looking for a good start. Kevin Fry was that maybe a little bit early on the outside. Anyhow, not our place to make that decision. Let Race Control have a look at that one as they work it down into turn number 3 and 4 for the first of our 6 circuits. 3 wide for third, 4th, and 5th position. We'll go back and take a look at this one. Kevin Fry leads the opening lap. Wheeler slides up in front of Shrees, parks it right on the snoot of the 56 car. Here comes the 79 of Dean Reynolds now. Down to the inside, trying to get 2 for the price of 1. Can't make it happen just yet. He may get 1, but yes, he's got 1. He's got Shrees at the line. Schaefer coming through on board. Verstraeten He's been checked up and held up big time at the back of the field right now. Now he's trying to come through on the low side. Meanwhile, Templeton trying to close in on your race leader right now. Down into 1 and 2 we go. Kevin Fry working to the top of the raceway. Templeton slides it from the bottom to the top as they work it into 3. Again, they'll go right upstairs, right below the marbles. 2 to run. Templeton, last lap time by Kevin Fry. What's the quickest car on the racetrack with a 15.273. Most of the other drivers into the 15.3s. And again, we've got 1 lap left to run. Kevin Fry, again, another half a tenth quicker, but it was Randy Shreves. In fact, it was Dean Reynolds' quickest car with a 15.306. 3 and 4 for the final time. Heat race number 3. Your Full Throttle Motorsport third heat race of the night is complete. And we've got our field set and ready to go. We'll have a warm-up session after this one. Let's take a look at the results here. They'll come up right now. 3-minute warm-up session. Kevin Fry, Brandon Templeton, Kelly Wheeler, Randy Shreves, Dean Reynolds, Matt Schaefer, Trent Verstraeten, and Pat Boyce. All right, heat races are done. We've got a warm-up session now. We'll take an opportunity to step aside here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll come back on the other side of these quick commercial breaks with your Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified main events. And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Here for your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season Weekend number 2, live tonight from the virtual Weedsport Speedway here in Weedsport, New York. As again, we get set for your Full Throttle Motorsports A main event. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call for tonight's 30-lap feature event. Let's take a look at just starting a lineup. Starting on the pole position in car number 20, it's going to be Blake Chapman to the outside of the front row. The 011 entry of Randall Dixon from position number 2. Kevin Fry in the 21 will start 3. The 93 of Jason Butterfield lines up at a position number 4. Position number 5 will be Anthony Moran in the 32. The 31 of Brandon Templeton starts position number 6. From 7, the 007 entry of Samuel Backman. From 8, the 397 car of Alex Pomelo. From 9 to be the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. From 10, the 18 of Logan Wentz. From 11, the 5 of Isaac Salas. From 12, the 56 of Randy Shreves. From 13, the 713 of Jacob Brown. From 14, the 50 of Malachi Smith. From 15, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. From 16, the 7 of Bob DeGood. From 17, the 213 of Michael Vitale. From 18, the 83 of Matt Schaefer. From 19, the 71 of John Hain. From 20th, the 014 of Greg Boydell. From 21, the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. From 22, the 007 of Michael Vecchio. And your final row from 23, the 513 of Jeffrey Barker. From 24, it's the 41 of Pat Boyce. Who is going to take out tonight's 30-lap A main event here at Weed Sports Speedway for your spring season week number 2 here on Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder, presented by Full Throttle Motorsports. It's time to go racing here at Weed Sport. 3 cautions in the RSN Trackside 358 modified main event. We had 1 on lap 1, 1 on lap 16, I think 1 on lap number 19, I think it was, somewhere around there. But I'm pretty sure it was only 3. How many will we have, over or under? Will it be turn 1? Let's wait and find out. Let's go racing. 30 laps on the board. Let's get dirty for 30 thanks to Full Throttle Motorsports and Blake Chapman. He's off and away. He says, see you later. I am out of here. 3 wide, Dixon and Morano split the 21 car of Kevin Fry. We look to get through the opening 2 turns. What's it going to be in turn number 3 and 4? Well, we look to be good racing right now. Lap number 1 is in the books. Now it's all about just trying to settle into a rhythm and get some laps in. Consistent times is what is going to be very key around Weed Sports Speedway. Trying to come after your race leader right now, the 32 car of Anthony Morano, chasing the 20 entry of Blake Chapman down into turn number 3 and 4. We are going to go yellow. I'm going to call Dean Reynolds on this one, maybe. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe the 56 car of Randy Shreves. It was the 56 car of Randy Shreves. Dean Reynolds had nowhere to go. Okay, I'll take that one back. Dean, that one's not on you. So Shreves just get up over the cushion into the concrete wall, and the wall just sucked him in. So back live here from the virtual Weed Sports Speedway. The drivers should be pacing right now. All right, lights are out. Getting ready to come back green. Blake Chapman going to lead us back to the green flag off for turn number 4, and we are racing. Chapman, Morano, Jason Butterfield. Oh boy, we are yellow. Down into 1 and 2 we go. And Dean Reynolds, I'm going to tell you this now, no. Just for everyone playing at home, he'll know what I'm talking about. So Full Throttle Motorsports, Big Block Modified, your main event, the lights are out. Chapman and Morano can bring us back to racing off of turn number 4. Oh boy, Butterfield and Dixon. Gee, that was an ugly start from the second row. But Morano going to challenge Chapman down the back straight away. Not going to matter because we'll go yellow. So again, just a little tough to get going here tonight from Weed Sport. See what happens here with this restart. We'll be on 2 to green for the moment. I think Matt Schaefer just coming by. All right, back underway in the A main event here from Weed Sport. It's still Blake Chapman, still leading the way right now over Anthony Morano, who's trying to run him down 3/10 of a second. That'll quickly get closed in there. So Chapman now on the defense mode. Meanwhile, Jason Butterfield under pressure and the heavy onslaught from the 31 car from Brandon Templeton. Yellow once again here at Weed Sport, and unfortunately we're just struggling to get the laps in here. Don't forget, still to come later on tonight after the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds here from Weed Sport. We have still got to see the Pro Late Models take to the racetrack, and then of course that'll be live on Extreme eSpeed TV. And then of course they'll finish it up with the NASCAR Xfinity cars. They'll head to the Circuit of the Americas. That'll be 30 laps around there, so 30 laps all around the board for tonight's feature events. I'll have a 30-minute practice session, 10-minute qualifying session, and then 30 laps around the Circuit of Americas to wrap up this Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder. Don't forget, Ultimate Dare will be live back at around 9:30 Eastern as well. Wait for the lights to turn off on the safety car here. So I believe it's, I think it's 3 or 4 cautions. And then they go to single file. So that is exactly what is going to happen. They are single file right now. Safety car getting ready to pull off the raceway. Blake Chapman gets us back underway in the A-Main. Murano is going to have Jason Butterfield in the 93 car, but Jason Butterfield again under the attack from the 31 car. Brandon Templeton as they work it side by side down into 3 we go. Salas trying to come through the middle as well, trying to come through the field, as is Logan Wentz. Kelly Wheeler, they battle it out for 5th and 6th position. But the battle right there on screen between Brandon Templeton in car 31 and Jason Butterfield in car 93. That's for 3rd and 4th position. Oh boy, Templeton nearly caught the wall there on the exit of turn number 4. And that'll allow Jason Butterfield to go back to position number 3. Here comes Logan Wentz. He's all over the back of the pair of them down the back straightaway. And he can't really pick a line to go to because you got one on the top, one on the bottom, although Butterfield makes a little bit of a mistake there on the exit into 3. Wentz gets into the back and then Wheeler comes in. They keep it going. Here comes Salas, your main event winner from the 358 Modifieds, thanks to RSN Trackside. He is coming through on the field. It's still Blake Chapman, your race leader by a 10th of a second. Salas is up to 4th position right now. Here comes Morano. Boydell off the raceway in the 014 machine. Of course, he's off the raceway, so we stay green. We've just completed lap number 12. Morano, here he comes down to the outside of turn number 4. Now cuts it back down to the low side on the exit of turn number 2. Off turn 4, I should say. They'll head into 1 and 2 now. Chapman in the 20 car. He is not giving up on the low side. And maybe sort of learnt that one from one of the last couple of restarts where Morano made a move down to the inside. Salas, meanwhile, coming after Brandon Templeton for the final spot on the podium. Templeton's got it. Salas and Wentz. That's your drivers that finish 1, 2, and 3 in the 358 modified main event. They're going at it for 3, 4, and 5 positions right now, although Logan Wentz, he's about 6/10 of a second away from Salas and Templeton. Templeton going to give up the spot down the back straightaway. Salas will move to a podium position. Templeton into the concrete wall. Meanwhile, up front, we're just past half race distance now. We start lap number 17, so that will make it 16 complete and 14 remaining. No, it'll be 13 to go. James Rice, if you're watching from 14, it'll turn into 13. They start to get to the back of the lap cars. Michael Vecchio, Malachi Smith will be the first 2 cars on the agenda for the 20 car. No, it's not going to matter. Malachi Smith dies it to the pits. And we will go yellow before we get to the lap traffic. So that was a good green flag run. So, can Isaac Salas move forward one or two more spots? Can he go back to back? Chapman going to get us back underway here at Weed Sport. G. Morano trying to shut the door from Salas, trying to make a dive down and a play to the inside they go. Side by side down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Morano still good through the middle of the raceway, and that's probably going to help him there to get that exit speed off turn number 4. Maybe a chance for Templeton and Wentz and also Jason Butterfield to close in on the battle. But look at the run that Salas gets, and the G's fighting the moisture down the back straightaway. 2/3 of the race is finally complete. We're 20 down and 10 to run. Salas has picked up the runner-up spot, and if we get a yellow again, the cautions would be falling at the right time for the 5 car. Morano trying to come back at Salas on the exit of turn number 4, but Blake Chapman has got the lead by 1/8 of a second. Yellow is out, and that 1/8 of a second lead is going to get taken away from him. But with 8 laps left to run, is time running out? So we've still got a fair bit of racing to come here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Just regarding the social media on Ultimate Dirt TV, I want to thank everyone involved for choosing to stick with us throughout the course of the week. We are closing in on 19,000 followers, I believe we're at about. I think we're about 10 away, actually. If you haven't done so, yeah, we're 10 away. We're 18,990. That wouldn't be too bad to get that one. We'll share that one again later on tonight. Lights are out. Blake Chapman. Blake Chapman to the green we go, 8 to run. So a consolation distance here with the Coast to Coast Racing Network. What can Salas do here in the final stages of this big block modified main event? It's taken him a while to get where he needs to be. But another lap into the books. Biggest movers through the field is Isaac Salas and Michael Vitale, both up 9 positions. But it's all about Blake Chapman for the moment. He'll know exactly what he needs to do in the 20 car. 6 laps left to run for Blake Chapman to go and visit victory lane here at Weed Sport and take away that opportunity for Salas to double up on feature wins. Morano still holds on to position number 3. Templeton 4th, and Logan Wentz rounds out your top 5. So your podium from the 358 modifieds, thanks to RSN Trackside, are running inside the top 5. Did he make a little bit of a blunder in 1 and 2 there? Salas is going to go upstairs and try and get a run on the outside. So they work it down into turn number 1 and 2. There's 4 to run for Blake Chapman, Isaac Salas, Anthony Morano. Who's it going to be? Chapman again, good on the low side, just doing enough to protect here at Weed Sport. Isaac Salas, you can see, really trying to sniff up the rear bumper of that 20 car. Morano not too far away from this battle. 3/4 of a second is all that separates the top 3 as they work it off turn number 4. 2 laps left to run for Blake Chapman. Salah still in position number 2. Morano in 3rd. They'll come off at turn number 4. If they get to the start-finish line, you know we're going to race it out to the start-finish line. White flag is out. 1 lap left to go. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season Week number 2. Full Throttle Motorsports. Big Block Modified main event. Off for turn number 4. It's going to be Blake Chapman with the win. Chapman gets a well-deserved victory here at Wheat Sport. Second will go to Isaac Salas. Third at the line is going to be Anthony Morano. Fireworks from the infield, fireworks on the racetrack. And we get this one in the books. Let's take a look at your full field rundown. Blake Chapman gets the win over Isaac Salas, Anthony Morano, Brandon Templeton and Logan Wentz to make up your top 5. Kelly Wheeler in 6th, Jason Butterfield 7th, Michael Vitale in 8th. 9th will go to Randy Streets and Randall Dixon. Going to round out the top 10. 11th through to 20th is looking like this. Samuel Backman 11th, Jacob Brown 12th, Trent Verstraeten in 13th. 14th was Jeffrey Barker, and the last car on the lead lap, and a bunch of cars that finished either back in the pits or a couple of laps down. Bob the Good 15th, Greg Boydell 16th, Dean Reynolds 17th, Kevin Fry, Matt Schaefer and Malachi Smith make up your top 20. Then you go back to Michael Vecchio, Alex Pomelo, John Hayne and Pat Boyce to make up the 24 cars in this one. Of course, we'll go trackside and chat to your top 3 here from the main event, and we'll get ready to see their thoughts on how this race went here at the Motorsports Speedway. Home in 3rd place tonight, it's the 32 car of Anthony Morano. And Anthony, congratulations on this 3rd place finish here tonight. And I tell you what, this 32 car once again showing some good speed and good signs of life. But when it's all said and done, buddy, a 3rd place is what you're going to have to settle for.
Hey, I'll take it. Those guys are out there in big blocks, and I went with the 358 tonight. So I'm a lot underpowered compared to them, and we'll take it.
Man, it was always tough going to be trying to get to the front once again each and every week in this field. But talk about this racetrack. Again, it seemed to, like what we've seen in the 358 modifieds, look like you guys seemed to be able to move around. Bottom was pretty good on the exit, and the top was good. Your thoughts overall on the racetrack?
It was pretty good. I like how that track, when Weed Sport slicks up, it's a lot of fun to run. How we ran in the 358 race is why I went with 358 here, because I knew we'd get a little slick and be a little tougher for a lot of guys with the big blocks, so including myself. So I figured it'd be a little easier to get grip coming out of the corners and stuff like that. So, I mean, it went pretty good. Started, I think, 5th, and I don't know what happened there going into turn 1 and just came out of 2 in 2nd. So just stayed there as long as I could, and Isaac got me on a restart. So we'll take the 3rd place points and go on from there.
Well, Anthony, congratulations on this 3rd place finish here tonight in Weed Sport in the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified main event. Before we let you go, we'll let you thank everyone involved on this 32 car.
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, my teammates at Full Throttle Motorsports, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, GripHack.com, DJ Sim Shop, Expert Installation, MDI TV, Brett, you for doing a broadcast. I'm running Coast to Coast.
There we go. Anthony Morano home in 3rd place here tonight. Home in 2nd place tonight, it's the 5 car of Isaac Salas. And Isaac, congratulations on this 2nd place finish here tonight. I'm going to say you started deep in this field. I think it was around 12th or 13th, somewhere around that 6th row. All of a sudden, you find your way to 2nd spot with about 8 laps left to run. What was going through your mind there on that final restart?
Try to time it, really. I won't even lie to you. I kind of burnt my stuff up trying to get up there. And I was like, I got a chance here. And then when we started running, I was like, I don't know if I got a chance or not now. But it was, I mean, hey, I try to keep it close and keep it interesting.
Well, that you did. But I tell you what, coming from deep in this field, I mean, it was always going to be tough to come through this field. But, you know, you've got the experience and the pace to do so. What was the mindset like before this main event?
Yeah, it was kind of just keep as clean as possible for making that mistake of starting so far back. And it actually all started in qualifying, man. I messed up qualifying so bad that I was just like, all right, well, it's going to be just keep the damage level to a low tonight, and yeah, I mean, is try to just be smart about kind of where I put myself.
No, I'll tell you what, Isaac, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight from Weed Sport for the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modifieds. Isaac, once again, don't forget anyone on this time. I don't want to have to do your job for how many times you do this on a regular basis, but we'll let you thank everyone involved on this 5-car, mate.
Yeah. We're gonna start with shout outs coast to coast to start this one. That way I don't forget. But thanks to you, Brett, for the broadcast. Thanks to Venom Racing, Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, Got Your Six Racing Network, Mission 22, my gramps with Top Notch Trucking, and then thanks to my friends, my family, and my girlfriend.
Ooh, I was going to say, okay, you left her.
And then congratulations to Mr. Blake.
All right, well, I'll tell
That's
you
how
what.
I'll finish it.
Yeah, all right, there you go. Isaac, well done on second, mate.
Awesome, thanks, buddy.
There we go, Isaac Seller, second place finisher here tonight from Weed Sport for the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified. To bring up your winner here tonight, it's the 20 car of Blake Chapman. Blake, congratulations on the win here tonight, boy. You had your challenges at the start of that race, at the end of that race, but I got to say, this 20 car, it was consistently fast all night long. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, appreciate it, Brett. But yeah, it wasn't easy having Anthony and Isaac, two of the best, on my tail the whole night. It seemed like, and I felt really, really good in these things last week. Didn't feel so good tonight, especially on corner entry, but about halfway through that race, I was able to figure out a little bit how to enter the corner, and I was just quick enough to hold those guys off. Luckily for me, that bottom was fast, and that's where I like to run.
Speaking of halfway through that race, roughly right around the half race distance, you started to see lap traffic in front of you before the yellow come out. What was going through your mind when you could see those lap cars and you were gaining on them, very quickly?
Yeah, I know I had a little bit of a gap, but I was definitely hoping for a caution, especially anytime lap cars are racing for position in front of you and they're high and low and everywhere. That's not easy to get through, so definitely got some timely cautions tonight, which I definitely needed. So sometimes you get the cautions when you need them, sometimes you don't. I didn't last week and did this week, and that's what makes a difference sometimes.
Speaking of cautions on when you want them and when you don't want them, I think with 8 to go, I think it was 9 to go at the time, you had nearly a 7 to 8 tenth of a second lead over Isaac Salas in second position. The caution comes out. That goes back. What went through your mind then when the caution come out, and what were you trying to do while you're rolling around getting prepared to take back to the green flag?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't what I wanted to see because I had quite a bit of a gap on second place there. The caution comes out, I'm like, oh no, but it's one thing if it's just 2 laps left, it's a 2-lap shootout, but there was like 8 laps left in the race, so anything could happen. I knew if I could just consistently hit my marks on that bottom and force Isaac to go somewhere else on the track and to try and get me, that I had a pretty good shot of holding on for the win.
Well, that you did. So, Blake, congratulations on the win here in the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified Series here on your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season, week number 2 from Weed Sport. Blake, before we let you go, we'll let you thank everyone involved on this 20 car that makes it all possible for you.
Yeah, well, I got to thank the family for watching and supporting. I got to thank all the guys at the Kreitz Sim Racing team and the Can-Am Racing team. I got to thank Andy at A&J Custom Creations, Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, and Preston at Epsilon Spirit Wraps. And I got to thank everybody that puts this league on. And I got to thank you for putting this broadcast on, Brett.
Blake, well done on the win, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There we go. Blake Chapman, your winner here tonight from Weed Sport in the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Modified Series. Of course, pro late models to come up very shortly, along with the NASCAR Xfinity cars headed to the circuits of the Americas. We bring in Travis Piercefield. Travis, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, Brett. Another exciting night. We'll continue here from Weed Sport with the Pro Late Models, and then we're going to go down to Austin, Texas, to the Circuit of the Americas for our Xfinity Series.
All right, so with that being said, we'll take a short little break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for the Ultimate Dirt TV side of things. We're about to sign up, but stick around here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. More of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Spring Season, week number 2.